How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Forever Arsenal live. We thought we'll give you another live one, people. So hit that like button. Make sure you're there in the comments, engaging, leaving your thoughts, all of that. Obviously, we've got Judges back there smiling, Jordan there sulking, and James is still over in Australia living his best life. So big him up as well whilst we're at it. But make sure you subscribe, people. Put a notification bell on individual channels as well. Turkish LDN, Whisper It Loudly, Lee Judges TV, and Gooniverse. Obviously, James is still part of the team. And I know you might be thinking, hold on, Forever Arsenal. James been missing a few now. Like, why don't you get him on board? One last moaning sesh, people, because I think it warrants it after the weeknight performance / result and the new merch dropping on top of that. Yeah, we haven't missed that out, people. So we're going to talk about that. But yeah, one more moan session, and we bring on a fourth recruitment for the remainder of James's trip to Australia. But Lee, welcome back. Jordan, welcome back.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Now it's a couple of days after the game. I even forgot to put the game in the title. But what do I say about that game?
Not a lot. It weren't the greatest game in the world, was it? Like, and I think there's going to be a few more of them. Brace yourself for a few more of them. Like, I'm going to be totally honest. I hope that it's as crap and as boring as that next Tuesday, and we come away with a 0-0. I don't care. Like, I want the trip to be the worst 90 minutes for a very, very long while. Just got to keep the clean sheet. That's all I want. Keep ourselves in it. But yeah, going back to the game, great trip up there. But other than that, listen, I'm going to try and be a little bit positive about it. Everybody that I was speaking to going into the game before the game was predicting us we was going to lose, and we actually got a result out of it. Like, and I thought we done okay. I thought we played really well from defence to midfield. It was just in the final third. It wasn't great. As I said on my interview, it's like watching my poor old granddad eating a steak with his dentures out. Like, it weren't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Like, it just wasn't pretty. And I used to watch him doing that for an hour and a half, and I actually, like, it wasn't pretty, Jordan. Honestly, it wasn't, like, God, when he put the old tomato sauce in it, the old tomato sauce going all over the shop, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, sorry.
But like, yeah, it was painful. It was painful. I love my granddad, like I love the Arsenal, like, you know what I mean? But like, it was a painful watch on Tuesday, and it was painful watching him eating his steak. Anyway, that's enough of the reminiscing about things like that. But no, it wasn't a great game. But listen, we got taking away everything about it. They're third in the league. To go there and get a draw and really dominate the game from start to finish, I didn't think we was ever in any danger of losing that game. I felt we was. I didn't think that they was going to score. I thought defensively and everything we'd done really, really well. But on the back of what happened at West Ham, it wasn't a good result. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm all right with it. I was at peace with it. I was at peace with after the West Ham game. Got all my anger and frustration out of it, like, And
not at peace. I'm actually. I want us to be at war, if I'm honest.
Well, you know what I mean. I know that. But what I'm saying is, it's done now.
I get you. Yeah.
I've accepted it. I can just now not worry about it as much, Look, but someone asked me, "What do you think of this season?" Like yesterday, what do you think of it? And I said, it's been a hard season. It's been a hard, draining season. I've not enjoyed this season one bit, boys. The only thing I've enjoyed about it is the chats that we've had on air and everything like that. But the actual going to games, being a match-going fan, has been tough work. There you go.
Yeah. Well, not just match going. I think TV watching as well.
Well, anyway.
I think it's been a tough season because I think they mentioned on the Big Six as well, or Super Chat mentioned it, and yeah, it hasn't been a good. The last couple we finished second. Ultimately, you don't really remember them. Let's be honest here. We've all witnessed league winning seasons and cup winning seasons where there's a lot more to remember, and that goes without saying. But those two seasons, it was a roller coaster, and at times enjoyable. At times, very
good
enjoyable,
football.
exciting, intriguing, interesting. This season's been none of that. It started for me from the summer window. I'm sure, surprise, surprise. If you didn't know, it started for me from the summer window, and it's played out exactly how after that I expected it to play out. That's why I mentioned, the whole peace thing. Even though I get what you're saying in terms of coming to terms with the reality now.
Yeah.
But by war, I mean, listen, for the rest of the season, it's on us to put it on the club, put it on the owners, put it on the manager, whoever it needs to be put on, to make sure this summer's not another one where it's excuses going into the next season. We've got 11 or so games to do that in, either as match-going fans or as people online who talk like we do, or who leave comments, or who just engage on other social media platforms. Because the club have done it before, where things go quiet and then they take the piss. So this summer now, there can't be any excuses anymore. But again, some might say we said that last year, and here we are with excuses, with the injuries or the red cards, and all of that is. I'm becoming less fond of Arteta's press conferences, if I'm honest with you, because he's becoming very contradictory. If I'm on, I remember a lot of the quotes early on, and that's part of the reason he won me over, because of press conferences, the way he spoke. I said it was 2 years ago, but it was last year. Not to be satisfied, he said on the Emirates pitch after the last game of the season, not to be satisfied with second twice, and he's right with that. But to come out now and then kind of contradict that statement in everything after first is a disaster. The journalist didn't say that. The journalist is just saying you didn't achieve what you wanted to. Surely that's a very fair assessment of the situation. But to bite back like that, whether it's rattled or whatever it is, it's contradicting previous statements like the transfer window one, maximizing every window to market opportunities and internal solutions. Along with signing that new contract this year. That's why I say we've got 11, 12, 13 games to go to voice our opinions, put some pressure on, unite a little bit in terms of, whether you're positive or negative. Like I said, whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out, I couldn't care less. It's about making sure that man, whether he's in or out, there's no excuses for him anymore, and he's got the best platform going into the season. Either or, we have to all be behind that, surely. And when a season ends, the noise ends. We still have platforms, but in terms of the consistent media coverage of games, there's always a lull, and in that lull, people then transfer attention to players, as much as they've been trying to do that with the Zubimendi in January and then Kimmich this week, and then people start talking about that more than what happened the year before, and that's what generates the interest and the excitement. We've got 10, 11 games to let this club know that they fucked about. And we ain't, this ain't Wenger, Arteta, and this ain't the Wenger era anymore. We've learned from that.
And also, Circus, before Jordan comes in, this season has not been a title challenging season. Let's get that right. We've petered out in February. So I don't think that's a challenge. The last two were a challenge. I really enjoyed them, and I enjoyed going to Arsenal games. But I can't. The same person asked me, "What games have you enjoyed this season?" I haven't really enjoyed any, if I'll be honest. I certainly can't remember too many of them. Man City, maybe I enjoyed that one, but
Forest,
all the other
Forest
games,
Emirates.
The what one?
Forest Emirates, West Ham away, Sporting away. That's the three that stand out. They were back to back.
Yeah, but other than that. Not been. I was looking forward to going to Arsenal games, whether the pressure was on or it weren't or whatever. But now, it's a big difference from last season to this season. I'll tell you.
Jordan, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, on the game this week, I've got nothing to say on it, honestly. So there's no point in me kind of whinging and moaning. It wasn't a great game. Got a point out of it. I thought we'd lose. I thought we'd lose badly. So well done on that. But the game was so bad, and I'm so annoyed by the season. There's nothing I have to say about the game. So rather than come on here and moan and whinge, I thought I'd try and cheer myself up. So I watched it yesterday. Someone sent me a compilation clip of Arsenal's 1998 double winning season. I just cheered myself up because it's like that year was a really good year, We scored some really good goals. Like, I think Christopher Ray was in that team. I think he scored a couple of, crucial goals. And Nelka was just like, Mwah! It was a good season, man. I cheered myself up. And And then,
man.
Hmm?
That's what they got people doing.
I know. That was a really good season. I remember that season vividly because it was the first year that I remember thinking, Wenger, Arsene Wenger. I don't know who this guy is, but yes, man, come on.
Come in and done it.
Yeah, man.
Come in and done it.
You did the thing, man. And then someone brought me right back down to earth in the chat earlier when I saw somebody saying, I don't know if it was a question or a statement, but there's a strong possibility we might have to give Liverpool a guard of honor at Anfield. There's a high chance we might have to give them a guard of honor.
No, I think we will, because every club does voluntarily, like from when they win it. So we will, because they're going to win it before that game.
Yeah. It's so bad. But just going back to something I think Lee said earlier on about not enjoying the games. I've been thinking for a few weeks about this. Can you guys count more than 5 games this season where we've played well and won?
Well, those were the 4 there. West Ham, Sporting, Forest, City.
Yeah,
that's the 4. And then I'm struggling.
PSG, I think in the Champions League, someone mentioned that in the chat. I think we've won.
Give you PSG. I was struggling to. I think I had 6, but it was a struggle. 6 games this year. We've won and played well. Not just won or played well. We've won and just kind of says it all, man. If you can't pick out more than 5 or 6 games where you've got that combination,
do you know what? I'm gonna put Spurs away in here because of the circumstances of that. We had a lot of injuries that day. Do you remember Declan Rice was out? We had a few players out, and we defended. We played really well. Didn't play really well, but done a job.
I think we did a job. Yeah, I wouldn't put that in the played well category. We did a job. No,
but
we went there, got the 3 points, and got out. But
yeah, sometimes that's not a bad thing, though, is it?
No, not at all. But I think over the course of a season, you're allowed to think a few what I call robberies, or just do the job, get it done type results. But you really need performances in the majority where you can say we won that game and we dominated it, or we won that game and we were definitely the better team. And I can't think of more than 5 or 6 times this season. I'm talking across all 4 competitions, by the way.
Yeah,
you might put in a Preston in there and all that, but whatever. But it's bad.
Even the game against Crystal Palace, I know we won that 5-1. You was there, Jordan, that day. It weren't the greatest game.
It wasn't, and I got bad for it. I said to everybody, if this carries on, we're going to fall off. No, we scored 5 goals. Why are you being miserable? I said, because I'm watching the games. We weren't good today. But anyway, sorry, Lee, go on.
No, and what made that even worse, that was the day that Saka went down. That was the day that, you know what I mean, someone said to me, why you got the ump? I said, because our title's just gone. You know
I remember you said that, yeah.
Like, you know, so, yeah, I'm with you on that. I haven't really enjoyed that many games this season. And, yeah, you know, that's down on the manager. It ain't down on the owners, that ain't. Come on. We've changed tactically, and it hasn't worked, you know, so, you know, back to the drawing board, they've got to go in the summer, come up with a different game plan and you know, I'd rather have the 2 seasons previous to this one where we've not had as much control, but we've got the points, we've been entertained, than this possession-based football, which, let's be honest, I've been bored out of me nut on the last 2 games, like, you know.
Yeah, you know.
I know I have. I really have. The game, you know, the West Ham game, you know what I mean? That was. Forget before they scored. That was 41. I think 42 minutes when they scored. It was 42 minutes of drosh, and then this one here, you know, it was, you know, we tried hard. We tried hard to, you know, and I felt for the players. They worked hard, but we was never looked like scoring if it weren't for a set piece. And we've only got one side now on our set pieces. The other side is about as good as our attack. You know what I mean? Like. Declan Rice, you know, was still putting in a good few crosses from that, but the other side's not got the same accuracy that it had with Saka, if I'll be honest. So it's hard, and I don't know what he's going to do. Like, do you know, you just mentioned Christopher Fourever. If you remember rightly, that 98 season, back end of that, Dennis Bergkamp got injured. Do you remember? He had an hamstring, and we was like right in the right. At the run inside of it, you thought, oh no, what's he going to do? And he put Christopher Ray up there. You know, don't forget, Anelka was only 19 and just that was his 18, I think, that was his first season. Ian Wright was out as well. So we had injury problems, and there was Christopher Ray. He come in and done a job for 5-6 games. You know, we need someone like that now, big time. But love and behold, we haven't got anybody like that.
We haven't. No. And the midfielders of that's why you're right. Some of this, some of it is attributed to Mikel. That's why I ask about the percentages of blame often when I'm talking, because Kroenke's and Arteta and everyone in between has to take some blame. Midfield being a key example. Again, Zinchenko is our midfield addition. For the second time ever, we brought him on midfield. In the 5th season, the 3rd title challenging season, what, our midfield is down bad like that? We need creativity. We need someone to unlock doors. And Zinchenko is the there's no injuries in midfield. So forget the attack for a second. The midfield unit isn't what it should be. It isn't what it should be. Far gone from it, actually, if I'm honest with you. It's lacking in multiple areas, especially when you consider contract. And I know we're going to talk about a link to Kimmich, the Bemendi link in January, but we are here because of the situation at hand. We can console ourselves with potentially making up for it in the future, and that's what we will end up doing. That's how football goes. But we're very much in the thick of realizing, shit, who's responsible for leaving us like this? Not just leaving us like this in January, leaving us like this. Because January only becomes relevant if you don't do what you need to do in the summer. And it was January is very relevant for us, or it was meant to be. That's because of what we didn't do in the summer. So the midfield, again, I'm struggling to see the balance with the personnel we got. I'm really struggling. Odegaard's an 8 for me. Like you just mentioned the corner thing. Why can't Odegaard just come and... You're meant to be technically gifted. You're left-footed, Why don't you come and take the corners and... Like Saka grew into that role, like Rice has grown in... Why don't you start doing that? Because after Saka, the second best left-footed player in the side is you. But it's not. He's just not there at the moment either. But he's more an 8. We need another 10. We need 2 CMs, and that's just the midfield. Let alone the attack. Zinchenko coming on again is just like I really don't. No one can argue that is by design. By design, we're in our 5th year, and Zinchenko's come on in 2 games in a row in a position he hasn't played in before for us. Come on, nonsense. For a title challenging or expectant side. What other title challenging and expectant side ends up like that?
I think a lot of people in the chat I'm seeing, and I know it's a widely held view from the fan base, that if we had a proper striker, we'd still be in a title challenge. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think of that. I don't think it's as simple as that, personally.
It's not just one.
I don't think if you drop in a top striker this season, we're definitely top of the league or even closer to Liverpool. We might be, but I don't think we would be. But we can chat about personnel and guys that we need in and out, and we will do, I'm sure, for the next few months and during the summer. But the thing that's disappointing to me is when I watch Arsenal this season, I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Like 2 years ago, Mikel Arteta's system was high press, high energy, win the ball up the field really early. It was fast paced, bang, 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 bang. We burnt out, Saliba got injured, whatever. We tailed off. Cool. The next season was kind of the opposite. It was, we're not going to press you high, but we're going to sit a bit like a half press. We're going to keep the ball. We're going to preserve energy by keeping the ball, possession-based football. But we had Saka and Havertz that were cutting through and being an attacking force. Cool. Some people didn't think it was pretty, but it was effective. But this season, I don't know. We're not really a pressing team. We're not really we're definitely not a counter team. I don't know. It's possession, but it just seems to be, I don't know what we're trying to do. Like, I can disagree with the tactics as long as I know what they are, but I don't even know what the tactics are. Like in the Forest game was another, I know now is a bad example because we've got no striker, but even when we had Saka, even when we had Havertz in the team in the pre-Christmas, I never really understood fully what the tactics for this team were. And that for me is maybe it's just me, but that for me was equally as concerning as a lack of personnel that we are lacking.
Do you know when you go on about a goal scorer, like might have changed it? I do believe it would have given us a better chance of challenging the title. I'll tell you why. Because there are times when I think when you're watching Arsenal now, if Arsenal play bad, they lose. They've got to play well every game. And if you're not quite on it, right, and there's been games when Liverpool not been quite on it, all of a sudden Salah pops up and gets a goal and everything. Sometimes that happens. You ain't playing that well, and you get a 2-0 win. Your centre forward scored 2 goals. I'm pretty sure if we go back to 98, 2002, 2004, there were games where we probably didn't play that well, but we won the game 2 or 3-0 because we had goal scorers just getting us out of, all of a sudden you think, we didn't play well today, but we won 2-0. We haven't got that in our locker. That is the problem that we've got. We play some good football at times, kept possession and everything like that, but we haven't got that. Well, if things are not going quite right, just something that can win us games, and that's where I think that that's what we've lacked. It's been more evident this season than the last couple of seasons, because the last few seasons we've had our wide players chipping in goals. But if you have a look down at our goal scorers this season, I think Havertz is the top scorer in all competitions with 15. All competitions, not just Premier League, And then after that, it's 8, 7s, 5s, all competitions. You've got to have somebody hitting 10, 15, 20 goals in the Premier League, and then someone backing up with 10, which we've had in the past. But we've just been nowhere near at it, maybe because of injuries and whatever. But certainly we've not been And do you know what I'm going to say also? Teams sussing you a little bit, suss how you play. But that goal scorer, you get that kind of phrase when a defender goes, I kept him quiet for 89 minutes and he nicked one. You know what I mean? Like, well, we haven't got to worry about that. The defenders haven't got to worry about that. It's just got to concentrate, make sure that they do their defending right. And that player ain't going to be there like when he just ghosts around the back there. I'm pretty sure if you look at Arsenal when Ian Wright was playing, there was games when we thought it was terrible today, and all of a sudden he's banged in a couple of goals and you've won. So I do think it's been our biggest letdown. And listen, I'm not saying it had to be the centre forward, because Salah takes that away, because I don't think they've got a real number 9, but what they've got is a killer. What they've got is someone that is in there, and listen, when the ball comes across the box and that, he seems to be there, doesn't he? So I do think that we've lacked that tremendously.
Yeah, what I know we haven't taken much from the game. Not that there is too much to take, to be honest with you. Calafiori, I mean, he started, and yeah, it didn't really. Wasn't really
that was ill-disciplined, Turkish. Come on, you know what I mean? I know we do turn around and say, we shouldn't get this and shouldn't get that. You can't be doing that after 2 minutes.
2 minutes,
what's that about? You know what I mean? Like, you're away from home against a top team, 3rd in the league, and 2 minutes your fullback's on a booking and has then got to come off. I think that's terrible. Lack of discipline. That's got to be stopped. These next 9, 10 games, we've got to be really, the professionalism and all that and discipline has got to be on point, boys, because we haven't got the goal scorer. We've got to be, conduct ourselves properly. And the reason then, and listen, Tierney come on and done a decent job, but when he come on, he's had to come off at half time and I'm going to say it now, lack of discipline. And also, he was one of our better attackers in that, but we've had to take him off. Lack of discipline.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kind of goes back to the point about centre back playing left back as well, because those type of wingers have got to him this season. We've seen it. It's not the first time. But they're definitely yellow card, though, because I see someone say the ref didn't have to give a yellow. That's a definite yellow card. 30 seconds in. You can't pull a man back like that. But sorry, Jordan.
No, you mentioned about a centre back playing a left back. That's annoyed me this season as well. There's too many players that I don't know what their best position is yet, or I don't know. There's just too many. He's a 6, but he's playing at an 8. But he's a centre back, but he's playing at left back. He's a left back, but he can play in midfield. He's a central attacker, but he can play on the right. There's just too many players that don't have a defined position. I think flexibility, it has its benefits. And I think if you've got a couple of players that are flexible, like Timber can play across the back line, that's a massive help. But there's too many players that there's no defined position. I don't know if that's hurting us, but I don't like it. I like my left back to be a left back. I like my centre back to be I like specialists in their areas, because very few people can play more than one position. And this is where Kimmich chat maybe comes in. Very few players can play more than one position very, very well. It's very hard to play two positions to a high level. So forcing a left back to play in midfield or part a midfielder, albeit out of necessity sometimes, at right back, I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Not into it.
Yeah, I agree. And also making Miles Lewis-Skelly, like, what is his best position? All of a sudden, like, he's been playing midfield all his career, and all of a sudden, like, we're converting him into a left back. You know what I mean? Like, we've got enough left backs. Did you really have to do that? I know he's done well, but couldn't we have converted him into that left 8 where we've been struggling a little bit? Couldn't we try to convert him into that? I don't know. They're questions that, I think are fair to ask.
Well, would you guys experiment now? I
Yes.
mean, they won't see the title as being over. They'll still publicly say, no, we'll fight to the end until it's mathematically over. We're in a title race. Fine, that's fine. But if you were in charge, would you be experimenting between now and May and trying things out?
I would have a look at Miles Lewis-Skelly as a number 8, wide left in that role. Why not have a look at that? I'll have a look at maybe playing a back 3 in certain games. I think, because I think next season we've got to. I think, if I'll be really honest, we've lost the league the last 3 seasons at home because we've not been able to break down and get over the line those teams like West Ham twice now, Everton this season. Like, last season it was Fulham. There was other teams involved in it as well. Like, I think that we've got to look at that and maybe a different style and try and listen. I know most of this has got to be done during the summer and things, but I do think I do want to see a completely different Arsenal coming out next season at home, where they've Mikel Arteta addressing those sort of problems that have not been addressed for 3 years.
Yeah, I agree. We are going to move it on. Let me do the super chats, but I mean, move it on to the Kimmich stuff, like Jordan said. But we've got a few super
chats. The exciting part, is it? A free transfer.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it that. Ben says, no matter the pain of being an Arsenal fan, especially this year's shortcomings, I always have the comfort of Forever Arsenal. Love, guys. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate him. Eugene says, Arteta is a good coach and tactician. However, he is also headstrong. The poor summer window is the reason we are in this situation. A lack of ambition. Agree. KD says, Turkish, the joy of waiting for an Arsenal game isn't there anymore. I really hope Arteta breaks the shackles and plays more freely. That's the only way I feel we will score. By the way, Jordan has grown on me. Took a while because he's
Yes, my G. Come on.
One day, KD.
It happens eventually, man.
Josephone says, Lee, as one of Arteta's biggest supporters, can you give me 3 reasons why Arteta will win the big trophies at Arsenal? Also, do you take back your 7 out of 10 summer window with Sterling, Neto, Marino, and Calafiori?
How much you paid for that night? Have a go at
enough. They paid enough.
Don't worry about that.
They're on trial.
Yeah, listen, I'm still like, listen, the 7 out of 10 window is down to a 5 now, but it was for me at the beginning because of the back of what happened last season.
Lee and Robbie are funny, They're both readdressing it. But Robbie says it's down to a 6, and Lee said it's down to a 5. That window.
Hear me out. What I'm saying is, on the back of last season and the back of the run that we had, Havertz scoring goals and all that, I could see what they were doing. When it didn't work, and you could see like halfway through, so that's when January comes in, and you think, right, well, okay, we didn't really do what we should have done in that window, so we can do it in January. They failed. You know what I mean? Like this January window's a -20, and it's just I think it's done me really bad. Like, you can say that, like, and I also still think, like, listen, it obviously wasn't great window in the end. And what was the other thing about Mikel? Give 3 reasons why I ain't got a clue. I don't know.
I do not know.
If you look at it, I'm going to be really honest. I think he's been brilliant for us. He's done well, done this and done that. But if I'm a betting man, you're saying put your mortgage on him, going to win a trophy. I think he fouls every time Arsenal go into a big game. Like the players don't play. The games that have worried me this season. Forget about all what's going on now. The games that have worried me, like going back to last season, Aston Villa, Bayern Munich, going into this season, Newcastle in the semi-final. We had everybody basically available for that, if I'm right, or near enough available.
Yeah.
And in 2 games, just didn't turn up under pressure. I look at other games as well. I'm not going to go too much into the Liverpool game because we didn't have a defence that day, but we had our forwards playing that day, missed chances again. So I think when it comes to the really big games, when it matters. Now, don't forget, when people go, oh, well, we had big games last season, we did. The one time that the league was in our hands, solely in our own hands, was Aston Villa last season at home. And we blew it. And I didn't think we played well that day. I also think the manager made changes. If you remember rightly, he put Jesus up front and he played Havertz in midfield. That was the only time that he'd done that, and it was the only game we lost. So from that point of view, I haven't got a clue. I'm worried about it. There's more question marks than, say, positivity that he will be the one to get us over the line. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's how I feel.
I mean, it was a direct question to you. It's not about what we feel. But Joseph adds, leader discipline comes from the manager. This is nothing new from the days of Luis, Xhaka, and how many stupid red cards have we had in recent years? It's cost us 10 points this season. I'll chime in on that. Some of our red cards are not discipline related, really. Some might say, kicking the ball. I know, Jordan, you might, but again, I'll bring the argument of on a football pitch, just that Declan Rice, that's not ill discipline, what Declan Rice did for that red card. That is not ill discipline.
I actually think it is. I think people think ill discipline is like when this is a good reference, the 98 season. I think it was that season where there was one year Vieira had, I think, 2 or 3 red cards and like 10 yellow cards, right? People think ill discipline is just like when you're dirty and you just can't control yourself. No, ill discipline encompasses all of it. When you go onto the football pitch, it's sticking to the plan, it's being focused, and it's being disciplined enough to recognize when your actions could harm your team. It's not what Declan Rice did wasn't the biggest footballing crime of all time. It wasn't like, oh my God, it's a shocker. But the fact is, he would have known the rules. We can say kicking the ball away is stupid. I think Robbie's been proven right on this one. The rules been kind of phased out a little bit now as well. So if we've got any complaint as Arsenal fans, is that the rule hasn't been implemented fairly across the board. That's something I'll hear that. That is where they failed us. But the fact is, the rules were you kick the ball away, it's a yellow. So that whether he boosted it, lated it, or tapped it, he knows he's doing something that's gonna put him in a position where he could be vulnerable. The fact he's on a booking already, he knows he's booked. He knows. So for me, that is ill discipline. Trossard, the Trossard one, I've kind of slightly softened a little bit on that one. I still think he's accountable because he's kicked the ball away. But that one, I'm a little bit more. I might reverse myself. That one might be a little bit harsh.
But you know, I think you're right. Ultimately, you're right. But that's delving into what discipline truly means, right? But different sports, like for example, karate, kung fu, the discipline needed in that, in terms of respect, in terms of just general discipline, and you know how it's one of the biggest priorities of that sport. It's the discipline. Whereas football, part of it is that dark art type of thing as well, where it's not following the words meaning to the truest form. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't call that discipline.
If you can bend and break the rules, Turkish, and get away with it, I'm fine with that. If Declan Rice did that and got away with it, I'm not going to be saying book him. I'm like, and even beyond that, if you can get a little trip, if you can get a little sneaky elbow, I'm fine with that. If you can get like in life, that's my thinking in life. If you can break the rules and get away with it, more power to you. but you do that action knowing the consequences.
Yeah, and Jordan, you're right, and the consequences are you know that the referees are not quite on your side. Do you know what I mean? So you know that.
Well,
now, and the other thing is, and I'm sure because it's happened with us at times when I played, like, you know, you've got away with one sending off against Wolves, right? I'm not saying you've got away with one, but you've upset them a little bit, like. So when you're in a team meeting or you're in the dressing room before, remember, don't give the referee any chance to get you sent off, right? Remember it. And then someone does something silly. The manager comes in and goes, "What have I just said?" You know what I mean? Like, you know, so you go out there, I'm pretty sure, don't forget, don't do nothing silly. Don't give away a silly yellow card and that. 2 minutes into the game, you're doing silly yellow cards.
But Lee,
like that.
But that goes back to the comment, the texter's comment about that going back to Arteta. I'm a big believer in when the kid keeps acting out, I'm looking at the parent. You guys are parents. When the kid keeps acting out, at some point, I'm looking at the parent. You have to make sure that your players know, by hook or by crook, I'm not accepting cheap yellow cards. I'm not accepting. It's like, was it 5 red cards this season? That's incredible. And that game against Brighton, we were battering Brighton. We win that game. Come on, I can't see into the future. We win that game. 11 men, we win that game.
Comfortable, weren't we?
Do you know what I mean? So for me, I just think I'm holding Declan Rice accountable on that 100%. Is the rule something that I would implement? No. But the rule is there and he knows the rule. He knows the rule. So you can't tap it away. He knew what he was doing. And he got played because the guy's gone down. Oh, I'm hurt. He's played him. He's totally played him. But I'm sorry, you put yourself in that position. So I think the discipline is an issue. And I would encompass that incident, although it could be a soft one, that is part of it. If you're Mikel Arteta, you have to tell your players that is not acceptable. Is it the biggest footballing crime? No, not even close. But it's still unacceptable.
I have to disagree completely with everything you said.
I get your thing about passion. I get it. In the moment, things happen. But why aren't other teams doing that?
They have. I've seen the ball kicked away maybe 25 times since that incident. I've seen, I'm not there saying red or yellow. What I'm saying is, rightly so, it's nothing. Like it's cool. And Declan Rice wasn't exactly kicking the ball away. Frustrated, free kick, tapped it, and his legs got swept. The Henry Lansbury one a couple months before that or last season. Look at how the way that was commentated. No one said, "Oh, look at that ill discipline. He kicked the ball away." Everyone said, "Right, this guy's kicked straight through him." So the rules are always used by you know, maybe you here or by people to make sense of it, but sometimes the rules don't make no sense, in my opinion. Like the Lewis Skelly one wasn't a red card. I'm not going to see that again. I've never seen that one before. And I've seen that tackle probably millions of times in my life. Millions, probably. That's how much football I've watched in my life. I've seen that breakaway trip up.
Turkish, that the referees are not quite on the same hymn sheet as they are with other teams. So you've got to just be that little bit more smarter and behave yourself a little bit better. And that's my.
There's a comment. Go on.
Sorry, but you know, that point as well. You see how we say, like, or I say, system-based managers, they're sucking the life out of the game. We don't have Bergkamps no more, or JJ Okochas, or you know, that ilk of player, because everyone's listening to an instruction on that pitch for these types of managers, right? This is also partly involved in that as well, because, you know, part of the game is that emotion. Like Jude Bellingham, F off. Man got a red card. The language barrier, I get there. But if you say F off, that's not a red card. I'll be honest with you. That's not a red card. And if we're starting to
I think it is.
Micromanage.
I think it is.
But 20 years ago, it's not, Jordan. So why
no.
now?
Well, but no, but I think then if you tell a referee to F off, that is a red card for me.
No. But F off is also an expression. Like it's
No, I hear you, and that's of the moment. But wasn't the argument from the officials? They punished him because they said they thought, and we'll never know, but they thought he was talking to the referee to F off.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's the language barrier thing. That's why I'll understand that a bit. But what I'm saying is, we're trying to micromanage the players. So basically, Rice in that moment, in a moment where you grow up playing football. The ball's there, because don't forget the ball was actually kicked onto his heel a little bit as well. He was walking away. The ball, in life since growing up, if there's a ball and you're on the pitch and you've got boots on and it's just hit your foot, you kick it, or you do a skill, or you might do some kick ups. He tapped the ball. So that's a normal instinct for a baller, right? So now we're trying to micromanage those moments as well to say, don't do that. And your instinct has to kick in and be like, oh shit, let me stop myself doing something that I've been doing my whole life. That's not actually a real issue.
But you know what, Turkish? I have seen players do that. I have seen players, excuse me, this season where you can see they're about to kick it and they stop because they know.
Yeah.
They know, and you might be right in the sense of that it might be a natural instinct to just kick the ball away or tap it away. Cool, maybe it is. I'm not sure I agree, but maybe it is. But the fact is, you can stop yourself. You can, because we've seen players do it this season.
Sometimes, depending on how frustrated you are by the incident.
Sure, but I think what we're arguing ultimately over here is whether the rule should be a rule, and for that, I'm with you. If I said at the time, if I was making the rules, that would not be a rule I would make. I would never write a rule in football law. If you kick the ball away, it's a yellow card. I would make that rule.
Would you call Lewis Skelly's one lack of discipline then? Because that's not lack of discipline either.
No, I think it is. I think it is.
Oh,
hang on. No, but hang on. Do I agree with what he did? Yes. Clip him, take one for the team.
No, but it's not lack of discipline. That's actually kind of an instruction. If there's a fast break and you're a manager will sometimes say trip them up.
It's still a foul where he's not going for the ball. If he goes for the ball and misses it and gets a man, fair enough. But that's an intention. I'm going to clip you to stop you from going on the fast break. Now, I'm not mad at it because sometimes you take one for the team. But looking at it objectively, it's a yellow card. It's a yellow card.
It's a yellow card. No, it's a yellow card. I wouldn't call it.
Yeah, but it's not a stupid yellow card, is it?
I wouldn't say that's a lack of discipline from him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He tripped him up. We see it in football. It's a yellow card. He got a red for it.
Taking one for the team.
Lack of discipline was the reason for the red card.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a positive example of lack of discipline. if you get what I mean, I think it's a positive. You've done something wrong, but for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You've done something wrong. It's never correct to trip a man running with no possible intention of getting the ball. Yeah, it's cynical. He's not going for the ball. He's going to clip the man deliberately. That is wrong. But what I'm saying is it's a wrong action he's done intentionally, but for the right reasons. So I'm saying give him a yellow card, but you have to be told that that was wrong.
When we played football, we used to get fined for yellow cards. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like they used to, like you used to get the FA used to fine you. I think it was £8 when I was playing. Show me age here, like you get. Say if you've done something like Lewis Skelly done, right? The club would pay it. But if you've done something like Calafiori, it would come out your money. Do you see what I'm saying? There's different rules for yellow cards. So there's like you've done something that was good for the team. The club will go, we'll let you off that one. But if you've done something like fine. They change it around, like, you know what I mean? You'd have to pay.
Somebody in the comments, I can't find that. Somebody was saying, I'm a Liverpool fan, but even I thought that red card, the Rice one, was the softest red card I've seen. But that sentence in of itself, there you go. It's the softest. Easy. We've got a fourth member.
I'll tell you what, right? This is a true story. I've got Emily's cats I'm looking after. She's gone away. And I done a show the other day when I couldn't get them out. They've been in the house for about 3 or 4 days and they've not moved. They've gone out of the sofa. But my little one now has come out. Like, she's come out today. And she's been my friend.
Is it a cat or dog?
Cat.
It's a cat. Okay.
But the one that's just gone across now, she had that cat first. So she's been here before, where the other one hasn't. To be honest, she's been here 3 days now. I haven't seen it. It's here somewhere. It's in the sofa somewhere. It just doesn't come out, like, you know what I mean? But
and I was just making the point that somebody was saying it's the softest red card I've ever seen, but it's still a red card. They've said they've kind of undone their own point. Whether it's soft or not is
the original opinion. Point. The original super chat said the lack of discipline. And I still can't put them on the lack of, like, it's not a bad tackle or a swipe out, a petulant elbow. It's dubious rule changing that leads to footballers.
Lewis Skelly.
Natural. What, the trip up?
Yeah. Come on, man. You can't. You tripping the man up.
For me, if there's a guy that's like 7 out of 10 rating, yeah, and he does that, his rating's probably gone up for me. He stops the counter.
No, I'm saying I'm not mad at what he did. I'm saying he did the right thing. But that objectively, if you take Arsenal out of this and this our player, what he's done is purposely trip up a man with no intention of winning the ball. If he tries to win the ball and trips him up, that's different. He's gone for the ball but missed it. Cool. But he's gone. There's no thought in his brain to win the ball. He's gone to. I've got to take him out. I've got to take him out. Yeah, I'm fine with it, but it's still wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
He's done something wrong.
Not a lack of discipline.
I think it is. I still think it is. But I'm not angry
anymore. Let's move on to the next one. Arsenal London said 2 years ago, I was surprised how we performed. Last year, surprised how we folded. What if we just overperformed and see now our real quote?
That's a good point.
Level.
That is a good point.
Not far-fetched either.
That is a good point.
It's not far-fetched either. I can't lie to you.
That is a fair point.
Do you know what? Can we put that as a comment of the week? That's up there, that one.
That is a good point.
It's a good point. It's just straight away made me think.
No, because there's truth in that. There's truth in that for sure.
Because we're a good team. Sorry, but we are a good team. We're just not good enough to be a champion team. We are a very, very good football team. We just got to make those slight incremental differences to go to that next level. And it's not easy. It's not easy.
Richie says, I believe Mikel is wrong about Tierney, and ever since he made that decision, I've questioned him. Well, he's our only left back, and he's off in the summer, so we've actually got no out and out left backs. But yeah, it is what it is. KD again says Arteta has next season, but that's it. Also, have you ever seen a team who have been in title charge and not had a single player have 20 goals? Which questions why none of our players have had. There's been a couple years teams have won the league without a 20-goal striker, but the point is that more often than not, you need a 20-goal striker or winger. Ryan, big up Ryan as well. Turkish Lee and Jordan, big up yourselves. Love Forever Arsenal, just like the Big Six. Come on. Words can't describe how angry I am with the Arsenal. I honestly want the season to end now. Can't believe it's over. Kroenke's for years, we've all known that they are a serious issue at this club. But as Arsenal fans, we can't act as if they've not backed Mikel, as Arteta has wasted a lot of bread they've given him, especially last summer. He is fully out of his depth. Sack him now. I mean, the whole backing thing, but you don't stop backing a manager, and there's evidence that they have stopped. Now, if the argument is, which I've heard many say, which is fair, if the argument is, would you continue giving the man money when he's bought Havertz into the side, when he's bought Vieira, when he's bought Lokonga, or whoever else you want to mention, fair points, but then get rid then. If you don't trust the man to invest and get the club into a better position, then you let go, not give a new bumper £15 million contract. And that's essentially what happened. So I'm with you 100% in terms of the portion of blame. But I hate when the owners are taken out of it like they've done enough. They haven't done enough. We've spent our fucking money. We've spent the club's money. When people say the owners have spent they haven't spent shit. They actually haven't spent shit. There was a time in January, I believe, or maybe February, where some laws changed or something, where if you have a loan from your owner, you have a chance to turn that loan into shares so the club don't pay no interest on it, right? Marinakis at Nottingham Forest changed that debt into shares. Forest will have no impact moving forward from those loans made from the owner. Kroenke chose not to do that. So we will pay the new interest rate on the loan that he gave us to pay off the stadium that we all praised him for paying off 2 years ago, whatever it was. These men are snakes in the grass. Don't let this grass overgrow again so we can't see the snakes. Let's mow this lawn and see them for what they are. But that doesn't absolve Arteta either, because I'm not doing that. But yeah, sorry. MK says, Kimmich, is the Kimmich interest genuine, or did Arteta just open a pack on FC Mobile? And that's the news. Big up the show. Love it. Open the Gyökeres pack, Arteta. Kimmich, I mean, Listen, I'll start. Zubimendi and Kimmich come in, and Jorginho and Partey leave. That's excellent business. Excellent business. Experienced player that can play at a high level at 2 different positions. Probably becomes our best passer in the squad in Kimmich. Definitely the most experienced leader in that sense. I don't care if that will cost 300k a week, because I know people are saying, how can we have people arguing that he will break the wage structure? We done that with Havertz. Hello. He's on 275. Kimmich is a guy that's won it all through different, systems, managers. Pep loved him. And you bring in Zubimendi, I will applaud and I will ask what's next, because I've been starving for years. So don't just give me rice, and I want the stew, and I want the dumpling, and I want the juice to go with it. And I'll take
a nourishment on the side. And a nourishment as well. Strawberry flavor.
That's what we want as well. Like, a bit of butter on it. Come on.
But yeah, Kimmich and Zubimendi, I'll definitely take. What's your opinion?
That would be great, wouldn't it? That would be great.
I'm more in than out with the Kimmich one. My only concern, and I think it's a key thing for our summer strategy recruitment across the board. I'm just concerned that we might be getting could this be another Casemiro, where we're just getting a top player on the wrong side of the hill? That's my only concern.
Nah, but he's having a great season though, bro. He's having a great. I think he's.
I love him, by the way. I'm
a couple of weeks ago, I think I heard he's created the most chances in Bundesliga.
Okay.
I believe. Can the chat just confirm that with me? But he's having a good season, bro. He's I've always been a big fan of his. I just think going forward, there's players that I'm liking the look of. I'm not thinking experience there. Then I think to myself, we've been burned before by getting really good players, just as they're slightly on the decline. I'll be corrected.
I don't think he's going to be like
okay.
Like a replacement for Jorginho coming in and all that. Like, I think.
All right.
But I'm happy with that mid. That is revamping the midfield.
Yeah.
Making it a bit younger, because I think Kimmich is younger than both Jorginho and Partey, and obviously Zubimendi, if he comes in, will be the one that will play most of the game. So, I would be on board with that. Not just them two though, because that's not a 7 out of 10 window. That ain't. I'll tell you that.
That fixes what we're losing, not what we've lost already, and that just fixes Jorginho Partey. So that ain't even touching on what we need to fix already.
No, but the midfield would be sorted then, wouldn't it?
Not sorted. I think we need a 10. Honestly, we need a 10.
Yeah. That's where I think like maybe Cunha could come in. That's why I think we should go for him, because he can play 2 positions.
Yeah.
I know Jordan don't like that, but sometimes I think
no. Oh, 2 position thing. No. If we're getting Cunha for the 10 role, I'm all in. My concern with Cunha in the January window was I was fearful we were bringing in Cunha as like a Havertz alternative. I don't think Cunha's an out-and-out striker, but if we're bringing him to replace Odegaard in the 10 role, I'm all for that. But I just wanted to make a quick point without going away too far from the Kimmich chat. Our talent ID needs to be better. Kimmich coming in, I'm largely in favor of. But why aren't we looking for the next Kimmich? Why aren't we looking for the guy that's going to be the next Kimmich next couple of years?
I think we've got too many. I think we've got too many next. We're hoping Saka is the next Salah. If we look back at a career and see what he's done and what he's produced, we're hoping Saliba is the next Van Dijk. If you look back at a career and see, we ain't, I don't think we've got enough of the guy that can stand up in that dressing room, been there,
ready to go now,
and hold some clout. Isn't Zinchenko or Jesus like a boss of this thing? Like, do you get what I'm saying? No disrespect to them, they took us to a certain level, but there's that level that even they wasn't relied upon at this, level. They was the sidemen when it came to that level. Kimmich at that level, I feel
he was the man. Yeah,
and I feel like he can help a lot. Honestly.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm kind of more hypothesizing than kind of giving statements. But yeah, if Kimmich coming in on 300 grand a week on a free, I'm not mad at that. I think we need guys that have been there and done it. But as you say, one of the things about Liverpool team, I look at their team. There's individuals there. You're like, yeah, they're the guy. I think if you bring in Kimmich, you've got a guy that's been there, done it, man. He's not coming for no jolting. He's coming to win things.
I'll be very surprised if City and Pep didn't go for him though. On a free, he's played with Pep and City's midfield. I think.
How old is he?
30. He's still got 3-4 years. He's
Oh,
German
okay.
as well.
I thought he was older than that.
These men, they take this serious more often than not. If they play to the mid-30s. So I'll be surprised if we are the only club here. Actually, there is another club apparently interested, but it won't just be smooth sailing to his signature, that's for sure. Blicky says, falling out of love with the game, PSR, multi-club models, etc. All excuses for owners caring more about American teams than ours. The game's gone, as they say. Listen to you guys every pod. Legends from Russ. He says up to Villa. Blicky adds, any team in a title race with a depleted front line buys in January. Because of PSR, SQR, YMCA, we can't. 13 points behind for us, 8 ahead for the owners. Yeah, I like that. My sense of humor. Joe says, is Rice really as good as we proclaim? Vieira, Petit, Cesc never dropped down in levels if they were playing slightly elsewhere. Dominate the same, my guy.
He's had 2 bad games for Arsenal. Come on, both against West Ham. That's why I done me nut with him about that. But he's been fantastic for us. I don't know where all this is coming from. Yes, he was poor against West Ham on both games, and he's got to address that. But I thought on Tuesday he drove, he tried. I don't know why everybody seems to be coming for Declan at the moment.
He's the guy lead next season. I need to see. It's looking like, especially with these links to Kimmich and Zubimendi, he'll be in the 8. I personally don't want to see him in the 8. I think he's a better 6. But wherever we play him, give him a fixed position. I don't want to see this alternating between 6 and 8 with Rice anymore. I want to see Declan Rice in a position. Do you know what I mean? It's 100 mil.
I'm with Russ. He was excellent against Freiburg. I didn't get the result, but if you looked at his way he drove and everything like that, I thought he was better. He just didn't have nothing up front. Didn't have nothing up front to help him out, and so I'm with you. I think he will be an 8. I think if you're going to buy Zubimendi, if that's the case, and we've already done that, according to everybody, then that's where he's gonna be.
We ain't done that yet.
No, I know we ain't, but I think that if we do buy Zubimendi, Rice is going to be that guy going forward. And I think that he will come. What he's got to do, though, one thing he's got to do is add goals to his game, more goals to his game.
I can't wait for those season ticket emails. Thank you for renewing your season ticket. P.S. Zubimendi deal off. We couldn't agree terms. I can't wait for those.
Yeah. Well, I think someone told me it's about 3 weeks now before you have to start chucking in your renewals or something like that. So it comes around quick. You know what I mean? Comes around quick.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that lost theirs because they didn't reply in time over the last couple of years. So
yeah.
On job, Arsenal London says, when City crumble without Rodri, things are, quote, deeper, but when we can't get over the line without Saliba, we have excuses. Funny. Lee says, do you think it's reactionary when fans were saying start Marino at striker over Sterling left wing and Trossard striker?
Listen, he scored 2 goals against Leicester. He done really, really well. Have we scored any goals since? No, I don't know. You know what I mean? I think it was the option. And to be fair to him, he looked like with his goals, he scored 2 very, very good goals. They were well taken goals.
There's no answer to that question. So we can talk about. I mean, I said at the time I would start him against West Ham, but in hindsight, I regret that because I think we got a bit excited. I think you want him. You want him. He's not a striker, so starting up front as a striker is different to coming on as a midfielder playing up front. So there's no answer to that because Sterling was my only reasoning for starting him up front against West Ham was that Sterling was so bad. I just wanted him out of the team.
Yeah,
I just wanted him out of the team.
Yeah, if I'm looking at Marino's last 2 games, they've been as trash as Sterling's games that we've seen him in. So for me, it's just which is worse on Sterling because he's actually an attacker in the positions he's meant to play in. So I understand the question, but if you ask me, what do you want to see in the next league game? Let's say because there's some on the even Champions League, I don't know. But if he throws Calafiori up front, I kind of get it. I'm not going to be like, oh, Sterling, I can't believe that he's not starting. Like, or Marino, I can't believe he's not starting. I'm going to be like, well, let's see how this one goes. Blicky adds, Jordan, according to Law 12, a player must be cautioned if they commit a foul that stops a promising attack unfairly, including tripping, which was on the subject earlier.
So isn't that what I said? Is he agreeing with me, or is he saying that I'm wrong?
I don't know. The argument was skewed a bit in terms of yellow card, red card.
Sure, I know it's about discipline. I know, yeah, but I think what that person's saying backs up what I'm saying. I'm saying it was correct to yellow card him, but you're right. The discussion was
he red carded
counts as. Oh yeah, I disagree with that. I didn't agree with the red cards. Yeah, it was a yellow card. Yeah.
Big up, gents. Question: we all know Arteta won't leave, no matter your opinion of him. If in the next 2 years, Saliba, Saka, Gabriel leave, will he stay? From Suj. He's a very well-paid manager, but I think that what you suggest happening with Saka, Saliba, and Gabriel, that happened under Wenger, and it was allowed to happen, including by fans, because Wenger was the legend. So the players he was letting go never really, maybe Van Persie, but even him, never really touched our hearts like Wenger did, right? Whereas these players here, it's a bit different. If Saliba ain't happy and Saka ain't happy and Gabriel ain't happy, I'm with them. That's my thing. I'm with them. I want them to be happy.
One more year, in my opinion. He's got the summer transfer window to get the tools that he wants. If he doesn't get the tools that he wants, that's on him, because he can walk, right? And if we have the season like we're having now, then I'm afraid that it's right. We'll have to get somebody else in that can take us over the line. Sometimes you're a victim of your own success. I know people laugh at that and go, well, what success? No, he's got us into the Champions League. He's then got us into second. He's got us believing that we can win the title. You've then got to fulfill it. And if he doesn't, then I'm afraid that there's only one way for it. I don't want to see players leaving at this moment in time. I don't know if they would be thinking about that. I don't know if I'm Saliba and I'm Declan Rice and all that. I'm thinking about leaving Arsenal at this moment in time because of what's happened in January. I need convincing. If I was one of them guys, I need convincing that you do really want to win leagues and things like that. And I think that they believe in the manager, but now the manager's got to go to the board. He's got to go to the owners and say, right, you've got to put your money where your mouths are. Now we need this. If they don't, then I think there's problems. I think there is real problems. And it ain't going to end well, boys. It ain't going to end well, because what will happen is that you're right, Saliba might be the first, but I think that could always happen with Saliba because he's not from...
but let's win stuff.
If Saka was to go, I think that would be a massive knock for everybody. So I think you've got to be really... This summer window, this summer now is going to be...
Yeah.
So big,
Let's create memories with them. That's my thing. You think... I'm not stupid enough to think if we win the Premier League title next year, Saliba doesn't still go to Real Madrid. That's what Real Madrid are about. But let's make memories with these players.
Totally agree with that. Like we might win the double next year. That doesn't mean to say Saliba's going to stay or...
Well, they took Anelka off us. Anelka after the double, right? Yeah,
we won the double with Anelka, and they took him off.
The year after.
So I'm not in that thing, but I'm in the thing where I'm looking at it now, and I'm looking and going, we've had a chance of winning the league this season, and you did nothing. So I am looking at the board, I'm looking at the owners, and I'm looking at my manager. If I was like one of those players, what are you going to do to make me a winner? Because I'm good enough to be a winner, because I'm one of the best players in Europe, if not the world, in that position, i.e. Saka and Saliba. So they need... I'm not saying they need convincing, but they need reassurances as well. And if I'm I don't know if you've seen the meme going around where Declan Rice is, I think, by a snooker table saying, I don't want to go through my career not winning nothing, and like it's like Del Boy and Granddad laughing at him and all that.
Next year I'm going to be a millionaire.
Right. So, this can't happen, guys. This cannot happen. We cannot go next season without winning a trophy. We cannot. That's the manager, that's the fan base, and that's the players as well. They have got to do. And do you know what? Because of what's happened this season, they've put unbelievable pressure on that. But that's what they've done. And I think at the end of it, January has turned a lot of fans. Turned a lot of fans. I believed in Arteta. I believed in this club. I believed that we did want to win the league. I'm not so sure now. And that has all been put down to me by January. Not what's been going on the field. What's happened from the 1st of January to the 31st.
Can I just say two things? First thing, any film recommendations from the people in the chat? I want to watch a film after this, so let me know what films is good. No sci-fi nonsense.
I'll give you recommendations, man.
I know you too. You too. Listen, I'll take it from you as well. But my second point was going to be, I want to see some deals confirmed before the season finishes. Like I always bang on about work being done now for the start of the summer. I need to see the guys doing some deals that get done now.
Yeah, I'll do as well.
Do you know what I mean? Before the last game of the season, I need to see blah blah's confirmed for next season. Blah blah's confirmed for next serious, because as you're both saying, I totally agree. It's a massive summer. It's a massive summer. Forget next season. It's a massive summer. Do you know what I mean? So I need some deals done now.
Like you know, Zubimendi, Kimmich, it would be a great start. Do you get what I'm saying? Great start, but we need a great finish and a great in between as well. That's what we need. So no messing about. Abdullah says, guys, Mikel progressed us in the last 3 seasons. Facts. This season isn't all on him. It's on many factors. It's on transfers, tactics, red cards, injuries, and Liverpool's luck. On the tactical side, Arteta's earned a free pass, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Earned a free pass. But this is what I'm saying. Abdullah's he's young. He's young. He's a young man.
I mean, I'm Arteta. I'm riding for him, but there's no free passes here.
Yeah,
there's no free passes.
That's
man, don't get a free pass.
That's all crazy. And progress thus is not, you know, it's not.
No, it's just
nothing to write home about. Progress thus. Like
yeah, no, and listen, you got to. I'll give credit for that, but that can only give you so much. Can give you so much credit. That's what it's now or never for him. It really is. I think that he knows that as well by looking at his press conferences in the last couple. Like he knows, he knows he's under the pump now. Like this is not how it was meant to be this season. I'm not saying that we was going to win it. Look, Liverpool have done fantastically well. They've lost 1 game. But what I'm saying is, at the end of it, this was supposed to be the season, and it's been a big letdown. So for me, I think it's all on next season. This summer will tell us everything we need to know. Have I said that before? I think I have. But listen, I like the look of Sesko. I think he looks a good player, but I don't think he's the real deal. This season, it may be 2 or 3 years down the line. If I'm Declan Rice, if I'm Saliba, if I'm Gabriel, if I'm Saka, I'm looking at that and going, I think I want someone now that's going to win me titles now, not in another year's time or 2 years' time. So for me, the forwards that he signs this season will tell us everything, and I'm expecting the real deal.
It's Isak or Gyökeres. That's what I'm expecting.
It's one of them.
I'm holding them to the highest.
It's one of them two.
And to be honest, go get Jonathan David free as well. He's a free agent in the summer. Isak or Gyökeres, and go get Jonathan David free. I know he hasn't set the world alight. He gets double digits over there. He'd be free. He's only on about 40k a week in France. You could get him for cheap. Backup striker. We ain't got one striker. And get Isak Gyökeres, one of them two. There's enough options out there. Delicious. Again, we're gonna do videos on the transfer window as it approaches. There's enough options galore.
I've got thoughts on transfers as well, but not for tonight.
Yeah. Lee says, I asked the last question because Sterling and Trossard are forwards no matter how shit the form. Isn't it better than a CM who's never played up front? Well, Sterling is as much a forward as maybe Cantona still a forward at this age. By trade, maybe, but I mean, everyone's time comes. Abdullah also added, we don't even know if the transfers are Mikel's fault. For all we know, he wants to replace his mistake Kai, but board or FFP said no. So he's forced to support what he has for the rest of the season. The books say otherwise, though. The financials say otherwise. The financials say we could spend another 150 M's. 150 M's is basically Isak. Basically. So, why didn't they do that? KD said, question to all, what amount spent in the summer will show the owners are serious. Number of players and amount, 300 M's plus player sales.
250 plus sales.
I it's for another time, but I'm not so sure the expenditure is going to be as big as people think it is, and I think that's going to be across the board. I don't think we're going to spend 300 mil this year.
Right. But that's
sorry, yeah. Well, what we want, 300 mil. I don't think we're going to be spending much more than 100, 150 plus whatever we generate or outgoings.
Not enough.
I agree. I think PSR's got everybody shook. I don't think anybody, which is why it hurts me to say, because I love him. I think he's the best centre forward in world football. We're not going to get Isak because Isak's going to be 120 plus, and that's probably going to be your whole budget. I think we have to look at a different caliber of striker that I think still win us a Premier League. We're not going to get Isak. I just don't think it's going to happen. But I think we need about 5 players minimum to come in. I think there's 5. I would move on.
But Jordan, you might be right. But guess what? I want to wake up to one day. Arsenal bid 120 million for Isak. Let Newcastle say no. Arsenal bid 130 million for Isak. Let Newcastle say no. Arsenal bid 135 plus 15 add-ons for Isak. If Newcastle say no, Arsenal sign Gyökeres 80 million release clause. That's all I want to see. Try.
And try again.
Exactly. And do it. Just do it now.
I think they might do that. They may do that if they don't get Champions League football.
Yeah.
If they get Champions League football. And I think we're also kind of underestimating that. Don't think Liverpool won't go through. Even Chelsea.
100%.
Chelsea. I think those two teams, if he's leaving Newcastle, I think we are second, third in the hunt of all of the 3 teams to get him. So there's no guarantee that if he leaves Newcastle, we're the guaranteed destination.
40, you're right. 40 side says, how many generational talents have we had in the Emirates era? Fabregas, Ozil, Van Persie. I think it's time we sign a player at this level and not someone we believe can potentially reach those levels. I'll add Saliba now in terms of the where he's gonna go or where it looks like he's gonna go and what we're gonna look back and say. In terms of when Fabregas left and Van Persie left, Saliba is that of this era in terms of if he leaves, it's all gonna open up and Bob's your uncle. Nico said Mikel won't sign a top striker because he cannot manage, does not like big personalities. His profile is pretty boy yes man. That looks like it's a problem in terms of character without a shadow.
Prove that wrong then, Mikel. Prove that.
Exactly.
Prove that wrong.
Look, we're talking about money spent, yeah? Sorry, I'm about to do a transfer video on my channel as well, by the way. That's why I've got lists of... Shirky was available, Shirky, whatever his name is, was available in January for about 25 mil, right? 21-year-old, he Algerian descent, French, whatever, Leon. He looks like a player, a creator, right? But he seems like he's got a bit of an attitude. And that's essentially the right player. All the bollocks is I'm sorry, Mikel, in attack, top attackers come with big egos. Yeah. That's why he signed Sterling and Jesus, because they know him from before, and it's more of a, my buddy type of thing. They already respect him via the respect for Pep.
Do you know, Saint Boys, just thinking about it, Man United are very much were in this position back in the day with Alex Ferguson. What did he go and do? He went and got Eric Cantona. Did he have braggies? Did he have problems? Yeah. But you know what? Alex Ferguson said, I need him. I'm going to have to handle that ego and all of that, because I want to win things. And look what happened. That maybe we're at that point now. Maybe we're at that point now, and you've got to be able to manage it and do it. And if you can't, what does that tell you? You're not the man to take us over the line. So this is where it's all down now. Really, come on. Can you be that man? Simple as that.
Hakan says, we need to buy established world-class players. We do have many, quote, next, as Turkish said. Big up to you all. Big up Hakan. Abdullah adds, I never said that the free pass is a new contract. It's just one more season to redeem himself. And I'm 32. I felt your pain too. Fair enough. And he adds, you say the financials say otherwise. Who said we didn't inquire about an Isak or Sesko? But bro, like I just said, bid, rejected, bid for the next guy. Rejected, bid. Rejected, bid for the next guy. We didn't just need a striker in the summer. We needed a left winger. We needed a striker, probably 2, if we're being honest. We needed a number 10. So if you can't sign that one and you're waiting for the right profile, then go to the next position at the very least. Come on, brother. And he says, but they ain't available, so we wait till summer. You said it before, Fabrizio and Ornstein only get what clubs feed. We can't just assume 100%, but we wait. Van Persie didn't. Fabregas didn't. Saliba won't. Gabriel won't. I've seen it before, bro. Why are we saying we'll wait when we've seen many players come and go? Or not come and go, go. O'Malley said, I think a sporting director will say a lot about the direction. Berta is who I want because he is a proven winner, and it was documented that him and Simeone sometimes argued. No, yes, man. Yeah, I had a list of 5 or whatever. Yeah, he would be the one that I lean towards more as well. But I don't care. Get someone and sort it out. Sue says, not one player has scored more than 10 in the league this season. Havertz only on 9 so far. Martinelli next up on 6.
Not good enough.
And Bo said, don't worry, lads, we're selling £550 dinner plates now. Can you believe it? Another merch drop, and it's not the merch drop you expected, people. It's not a tracksuit. It's not a t-shirt. Yeah, it's a what do you, is it a crockery set? Is that how you would call that?
To be fair,
old China.
I could do with some plates and cutlery.
So the trouble is they start cracking about February time. Like I won't get them.
Like just falling apart, disintegrating. That's the buzz.
Well done, Lee. Well done,
bro. For the I think it's sold out. I've been on the website whilst we was live, and I checked it.
I bet it is.
It doesn't. Every single piece doesn't have the. It says notify. It doesn't have add to basket. It has notify. Have these motherfuckers sold a crockery set out of Arsenal Direct?
They could sell snow to Eskimos, mate. I'll tell you, like that. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt. Put a cannon on a snowball and it'll be sold out. I'll tell you, like that.
And I'm a collector of things, by the way, but that is trash. Like it's trash. Sorry to the designer and the person who hand painted it, but it's trash. Trash.
You killed him.
But sorry, let's James got another prediction right, so here we are. He's running away with it. 41 points.
Whoa! I wouldn't say running away with it. Like he's ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, 3 points at this stage. You've got as much chance as we did when Saka got injured.
Jesus. I would dispute that. I would say my chance of catching James are better than Arsenal's catching Liverpool. In fact, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'll bet you I catch him.
All right, bet me.
Bet you a £5 I catch him.
£5? That's not even chicken and chips, bro. What the hell? That's not even chicken and chips. No.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
He said a £5. Oh my god, bro!
Oh man, James, you bastard.
Even Zekai would look. If I gave Zekai the £5, I'd be like, Dad, like,
that back.
Come better than that. But yeah, good luck.
God.
I want you to win, so you don't have a start, because so James doesn't have the second star. But you know.
Well, how can we wrangle this? How can we Jinnle James out of this? How can we?
Well, he actually went up the last 2 shows, so
that's at least -5. You know what I mean?
He's gone for a 1-0 win away to PSV, so it's a chance for you to make up points because we're not beating PSV away from him.
And also, he can make an effort, like, you know what I mean, and be like, when we go away, we make the effort.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I respect it. If I'm honest with you guys,
No. We're a family.
He said, "Fuck it, man.
Yeah, we're a family."
You 3 old men just talk there, moan, man. Let me enjoy. He's still in his 20s.
He's got 1-0, yeah.
He's got 1-0 PSV. I mean 1-0 Arsenal. Sorry.
Oh man, I don't even know. I'm getting to that point now where I don't really care anymore.
I'm check that.
God, I've not even looked at their team. Arsenal away. to PSG, PSV even. Do I think we'll win this? Nah. I'll go 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
I think I was gonna do that. All right, Lee.
0-0.
0. Oh shit, 0-0. So James is gone. I'm gonna go 2-1 PSV. So that's it. James has gone 1-0 Arsenal. Jordan's gone 1-1. Lee's gone 0-0, and I've gone 2-1 PSV. As you can see, the table's there. And we move. A super chat's just coming again from Abdullah. Jordan, no, not pissed. Love you guys. Just venting out my frustrations after this sad season.
Tight Abdullah, man. Big up you, man. Big up you.
He took that too literal.
He did.
We're with you, man.
He took it personal.
We'll 100% agree. Now he's gonna send in a super chat saying, "I didn't take it personal." Stop saying shit, Jordan. Let's stop now.
Man, suspending peace.
Because he's always showing love. 100%. Abdullah, don't fall for it again. Don't do it. Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
We'll 100% agree with you, Turkish, if we end up with no big summer signing. Big up this group. Come on. Love for the love. Love the community. Hit the like button, people. Make sure you are subscribed. Usually at this point, we do comments of the day, but we have gone over time, hour 20 minutes. Lee's got a cat to feed and one to find.
They're both up here. Can you believe it? They're not come out for 3 days, and then when they do this show, they come out. They must love Fourever Arsenal. There you go.
Come on.
I've had tips of how to get them out of the couch, put Ham down, do this, put Fourever Arsenal on. The cats come out to play. Look at
Come on. Everyone loves it.
As long as it's not Win the Dog, I'm all right. Pick up the cats.